What's up, my amazing drummers? So today I have something really special for you guys. We have a very special guest on this channel today, and yeah, she's a female musician, a drummer to be precise. She's a drum coach like me, very good drummer, no jokes. She's literally my favorite drummer in Nigeria, favorite female drummer in Nigeria, and you need to watch this lady play. Like, she's really amazing.
Jesus Christ.
So lady, I don't want to mention your name. I'm really privileged to have you on this channel. Just say hello to the fam.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege to be here, and thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. So guys, we're just going to be having a sit-down talk session with her, and I'm basically going to be interviewing her, asking her questions, and we're going to be learning from her journey as a professional musician. She's going to give you guys a short breakdown at the end of this interview session. Stay tuned. So introduce yourself to us. What is your full name?
Yeah, my name is Blessing Ibrahim. A lot of people call me Starblessing.
Okay, Starblessing. So how long have you been a drummer, and just give us a brief story on how the journey has been?
Okay, I've been drumming since I was a very little girl. I think I was 8 years old when I started, and then started in school. I remember when I was in primary 4, then during our assembly, I always used to run to the drummers' place. I always used to beg them to allow me play, and then even though the teachers always used to send me back to the assembly ground, I would always run back to them, please let me just play, because I went to a Christian primary school. So during the assembly, we always used to sing Christian praise songs at that time. So I always run to them and beg them to allow me play, and I didn't really get the chance to until I got to primary 6. In primary 6 I was made the head girl of my school, so I had full authority of who and who were going to drum. And the kind of drum set, I didn't really start with the set drums. I started with this brigade type of drums, like somebody on the snare, somebody on the tom, somebody on the bass drum. So that was how I started.
Wow, so that's a very nice background story. So what inspired you to becoming a drummer? Because one of your fans actually said you are the best female drummer he has ever seen. So what inspired you to become a drummer?
Okay, what really inspired me to play the drums? I remember in church then, when I was still very little, anytime I see myself on the drums, I always used to be happy. Even though I could not really play very well then, it's something I love to do. And so watching other people play the drums, then I always used to get me inspired. I remember anytime I get the opportunity to play in church, then I always used to be very happy. After the service and we go home, nobody in the house used to rest. I always used to say, I played the drums today, I played the drums today. Even then, I remember then I would always run to my mom to collect her phone and then record myself, not like a video record, like what's it called, in form of a voice record. And then when I get home, I always used to play for everybody in the house to listen to.
Wow, so we can actually say it was just the joy and the pleasure you derived from playing the drums that inspired you to get better. That's really nice. Okay, the next question is, what is your favorite rudiment as a drummer? Okay,
my favorite rudiments are doubles, paradiddles, and 6-stroke roll. I love 6-stroke roll a lot. If you've been following me for a very long time and you watch my videos well, you notice that I always play. I start my chops with 6-stroke rolls. I do a lot of things. Sometimes even my groove. There are a lot of grooves I've done, like a video breakdown using 6-stroke rolls. So yeah.
So I guess that's one thing we have in common. Most of my followers here on this channel know, they relate when I say the 6-stroke roll is also one of my favorite rudiments. So the next question I'm going to be asking you, Starblessing, is what genre of music do you enjoy playing the most? What style of music?
Okay, for you to be called a professional musician, you should be able to play all kinds of music. And so yeah, I play all kinds, like all genre of music. But basically, the one I play the most, I do more of contemporary African music. I also play jazz, I play rock, I play Afro also. And then, yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you on this particular thing. To be called a professional drummer, to everybody watching out there, you need to have a little idea of almost every genre of music. So in any situation you find yourself, you can always deliver. Okay, so what's it like being a drum teacher, a guitar teacher? In fact, how many instruments do you play and how do you cope with, how do you manage teaching people?
For you to be a very good teacher, you must learn to have patience. Your level of patience must be very high, because there are some students who are fast in learning and there are some that are very slow in learning, that if you don't have patience, they might frustrate you. Yeah, and secondly also, in order to be able to take people effectively, you must learn to understand the temperament of each student you are taking. That's what has helped me. I've been able to, first, I try to interact with my students to a very large, to an extent, yeah, before I now introduce music to them. Yeah.
Wow, that's really nice. I'm also learning from this. But you didn't answer the question, how many instruments do you play?
Okay, I play 4 instruments. I play the drums, which is my main, and then I also have little idea on piano. I played piano as well. I play guitar, acoustic guitar, and then I play violin.
Wow, 4 instruments, that's really a lot. So one of your fans asked, she plays 4 instruments and she is married. How does she cope? So please tell us.
Okay, one of the most asked questions. All right. Okay, I would say I'm grateful because I've not really struggled to continue music since I got married. I have not really faced any challenge to make me want to quit. And I think that's because I got married to a musician as well, and um he is one of my greatest support system. Yeah, and secondly, he's a saxophonist and I am his drummer. So he's, before we got married, he was my boss. Yeah, and I was his student and worker. Yeah, and now that we are married, it makes everything easy for me. That's because we go out for programs a lot. Everything, we are in the same field, so there's nobody complaining. There's nobody saying that you're not giving time to this, blah 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 blah, like that. No. So yeah.
Wow, there's a lot to learn from this. So those of you that are unmarried musicians like me, end up with end up with someone that understands you. Get married to someone that understands your career as a musician. Thank you so much for that exposition. So the next question, one of your fans asked, what is your practice routine like?
If you follow me well, over the years, you will know that I have been consistent in this field, and this consistency boils down to the kind of things I do every day. Yeah, so my practice routine, I try as much as possible to practice every day. Even though I don't practice for a very long time, I try as much as possible to practice for at least 30 minutes every day. And that's helped me because right now I don't really have enough time to do a lot of things because there are so many responsibilities, there are so many things eating up my time. So I have always tried to at least do something for at least 30 minutes on the drums, and I'm grateful that God has blessed me, at least, even though we have an academy and I don't really get all the time to practice there. So I'm grateful that I have enough equipment for me to rehearse and practice at home. So yeah, I always, just several times I've even stayed up till like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. just trying to do something. And a day cannot pass without, except if I am not, or let's say, except if I don't really have access to my equipment. That's the only way I don't practice. Let's say maybe I'm outside of my environment. Yeah.
Thank you so much for this. I agree a lot with you, and I would love to add a little on this. So guys, if you notice something from everything she said, she didn't mention a particular rudiment that she practices every day and all of that, because we always tend to find out people's practice routine to know the rudiment they play. The secret to being a very good drummer is not just the rudiment, it's the consistency. So here when she said she makes sure she practices every day. So I'll always say slow, consistent growth is better than once in a week you practice 3 hours. It's better you keep up with 20 minutes, 30 minutes every day. So which drummer would you say influenced your sound the most?
Okay, so yeah, Victor Mosugu is one great drummer that has influenced my sound. I have known him right from Planet Shakers before he left Kogi State, and not just me alone, he has influenced every drummer that has passed through Planet Shakers. And there are other drummers also that have always learnt one or two things from people like Shaba, Shegun, MK6, Sonny Snares,
Zaki
Victor
Fathers.
Caro, Marcus Hassan, Jedutun, and so many other. And also um, in the female world, another drummer that has inspired me is Akami Music. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long list of really amazing drummers. So I believe you go for a lot of outings and programs with your team, or when you go as a solo performer. One question I want to ask you that is going to be very beneficial to everybody watching is, how do you cope with stage fright? Because this is an issue that most musicians face when they get off stage. They know things to do, and then they struggle with the ability to deliver that thing. They have stage fright, begin to have shaky hands, all of that. How do you cope with stage fright?
Okay, talking about stage fright and lack of confidence, I struggled with that for a very long time. I remember when I started music, I always used to be scared if we are going out for events. Sometimes, even after doing well in our rehearsals, or if I practice something very well, once I get on the stage, I'll play something else because of fear. So one thing about aside from music, anything you find yourself doing generally, and you are consistent in that field, or whatever it is, you do that thing over and over and over and over again. I think confidence just comes naturally. It's something that you don't really need to force. You don't really need to. I know, yes, you have to, because there was a time I had to just make up my mind. I was deliberate about it. If I would tell myself, okay, if I go to this place, I know I can't mess up. No matter the fear that comes, I know I'm not going to mess up.
Yeah, I'll definitely agree with that. Most times people experience stage fright because they've not built a certain level of confidence, and confidence comes from your capabilities. If you can do something very well, you're very confident. Truth is, you still face stage fright from time to time, but over time the level of confidence you have is definitely going to overpower your stage fright. Thank you so much for that answer. So the next question is, on days you don't feel like practicing, how do you get yourself motivated? Those days where you feel down and you don't have anything to practice, how do you get yourself to practice?
Okay. Let me say, I don't really find myself in such situations because I always have something to do. There is always an unfinished work I need to do. One, and that's because of the kind of people, the kind of musicians I work with. So we always have works, we always have things we want to score, we always have events. So, and there are new arrangements coming up that everybody needs to to work on. So I hardly find myself in such situations. And if at any point I would try to, I always used to watch drum videos and then listen to messages as well to to inspire me more and to motivate me to. Yeah.
Wow, thank you for that. So drummers are always asking me what to do when they run out of ideas. Here you have your answer. If you have something, if you have a schedule, if you have a strict routine that you've set for yourself to follow, if you have songs you're scoring, you barely have that state of burnout where you have nothing to practice. That's the truth, because you always have something to do. Most times, maybe you have too much things on your mind, there's no one to focus on. If you have a particular thing part time, you always, and if you feel down, watch videos, watch other people playing, and according to Starblessing, listen to messages. Yes, you can get yourself motivated through that means. I believe your drumming is commercialized. So what advice will you give to a drummer that is wanting to commercialize his gift, make profit out of this gift of drumming?
So talking about the monetary part, I would say first you need to get yourself to a level of professionalism. You need to build yourself to a level where people would want to pay you to people would want to pay to just work with you. Yeah, so there are several ways you can earn in music. One, music education. Yeah, if you know what you are doing, you can teach. That aspect requires a lot because you need to go outside of your comfort zone. You need to always open your mind to informations and other things that you must be ready to keep your students, because your students are your customers, right? Yeah, and the amount of information you have, that's what will be able to, it's one thing getting customers, getting students is quite easy, but you must also learn how to keep those students. Yeah, and then secondly, again, you can also earn money by playing in church. That's if you are in a church that understands the role of a musician. Yeah, also you can work in a studio. There are several drummers who record songs for producers and also for artists. Yeah.
That's nice. So drummers, make sure your skill level is good enough to be paid for. You get. Make sure you have the value you are requesting for. So the next question is, what is your favorite drumstick size? What size do you use?
Okay, yeah, I make use of 5A when I'm playing at an event, but for my rehearsals and my personal practice, I use more of 2B and 5B. Yeah.
Okay, this is common. All of you watching, you always hear musicians say this because most times it's advisable you use heavier sticks to practice, and when you go live on stage, you just use lighter sticks. You have better delivery and you can play for longer durations. You get. Okay, so what is the one thing you see lots of upcoming drummers do wrongly that you really love to correct them, and how do they correct it?
I see a lot of upcoming drummers doing, which is very wrong, is that a lot of drummers just want to become successful. A lot of them wants to be famous, but nobody's ready. They're not ready to pay the price, because before you get to that level, there are so many hard work that must be put in, and also you cannot have a tower when your foundation is not built. It's not possible. So my advice is for upcoming drummers to just calm down and learn the basics of drumming.
Sure, all of you are hearing now. Be patient. Be patient. Nothing happens overnight. Try your best to always, build a foundation. Yeah, because most people, when I teach students, I always hear, how can I learn this in 1 month? You're asking someone that used almost 3 to 4 years to learn that single thing you want to learn in a month. I'm not saying waste your time, but learn patience. Patience is a virtue. So the next question is, what is that one thing you do that makes you stand out from other drummers?
Okay, the only thing I would say is that I have just been consistent at my practice routine. And one thing in life is that if you are not moving forward, definitely you're moving backward. And then same thing too in music. If you are not improving, even though your improvement is not like really drastic, but you are doing something towards your improvement, definitely your growth you're going to see growth gradually. So now one thing with music is that if you're not practicing, if you're not consistent at practice, you cannot be at a particular level in music for a very long time. It's either you're increasing or you're coming down. So, and there are lots of drummers that used to make that mistake. Once they get to a level of professionalism, they feel like, okay, that's all. They're not really intentional about their practice, and which is really bad. Yeah, and that's one thing I have not really taken for granted. I have been consistent with my practice. I have followed my practice routine religiously.
Wow. So consistency is really the key. Consistency is the key. Drummers, don't get complacent when you get to a particular level. Don't feel like you've gotten good and we can now relax. There is no relaxation. Thank you so much for that answer. Yeah, so on to the final thing today. Please give a word of advice to the drummers that are watching now that look up to you.
Well, the only advice I have for drummers is for them to be consistent. Now, when you talk about consistency, consistency is like a full package. It comes with patience, it comes with hard work, and a lot of other things. So, drummers should always learn to be patient because you are not, there are a lot of things that for you to become successful at a particular craft, you need to exercise patience. You know, success doesn't come immediately. There are a lot of things that must be put in for you to get to that level. And again, I would say drummers should learn to do away with competition. Just have this mindset that the only person you are competing with is yourself. Yeah, because when you start competing with other people, you start to lose focus. So yeah, that's my advice.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're really honored and privileged to have a person of your caliber on this platform, and we really appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for having me. I'm really honored to be here. I mean, it's not easy for a celebrity to feature you. It's not easy. So thank you so much for having me. I'm really grateful.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome, guys. So I'll leave her social media handles on the screen now. Make sure you go follow Blessing on Instagram and Facebook. Her YouTube channel, I'll leave links to her channel. Be sure to go subscribe to her channel.
I'm going to be showing you the rudiment I love to play a lot, and that is paradiddles. I love paradiddles a lot, and paradiddle has a breakdown of singles paradiddle, there's singles paradiddle, there's doubles paradiddle, there's triple paradiddle, there's flam paradiddle, there's inverted paradiddle, mention them. And so I make use of singles paradiddle and inverted paradiddle more, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to play the inverted paradiddle and how I play mine. So what's the stickings for inverted paradiddle? Stickings is right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left. So yeah, but I love to add. Now what will make this sound interesting is if you are able to just alternate, if you are able to improvise, and how you are able to spread your hands around the kit. For me, sometimes I love to use my kick. I love to start with my kick. I love to add my kick to it. And yeah, so I'm going to be showing you how I play mine. So this is the sequence. Right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, left. Now I'm going to add my kick to the first right and to the second right, which is right, left, left, right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. Let's play it faster and see how it sounds. 1, 2, 3, go. Now I said knowing how to spread it around the kit will determine how it's going to sound. So I'm going to play it around the kit. I would add my kick to the first right and play it, and then coming back I'll add my kick to the first and the second right. 1, 2, 3, go. Very simple. Once you've gotten the stickings out, then it's just left for you to just play around with it. You can add your kick anywhere, you can play it around the toms anywhere you like.
And see you guys on the very next episode of this series.